it's Trish from With Love for You. Today we are going to do another fun craft project, making some corn husk flowers. I hope you enjoy this craft as much as I did. For this project, you will need some dried corn husks. You can find these at some of the craft stores. You can also find them in some grocery stores where you can buy things to make tamales. A glue gun, some glue sticks, some cardstock, or you can even use index cards, just some type of paper that you can cut into a round circle that's got some body to it, and a pair of scissors. We're going to start this project by cutting a small circle out of the paper. This is what you're going to use to build the flower on. You will glue the center of the flower to the circle that you're going to cut out, and then you will start to layer the petals on top of the paper as you go around. You can see that I've cut a small circle out of the cardstock, and what I'm going to do now is take about a half of one of the corn husks and I'm going to roll it into a tube shape. This is what we will use as the center of our flower. So I'll hold this piece down just for a few seconds until it adheres to the circle with the hot glue. And then I'm going to start cutting out pieces of the other dried corn husks and layering them along the circle, gluing them down as I go to create the flower. I gathered a stack of about 4 of the corn husks and cut out from the bottom where it's a little thinner, all 4 of them at the same time into petal shapes. These are probably about 3 to 3.5 inches long, and then I will separate them and glue them along the circle. I've placed a little dab of glue right near the center of the flower and placed my first petal down and just holding it there until it adheres. And then I will continue with each petal all the way around the base, overlapping them slightly as I go, like a flower would look, and I'll go all the way around. And I'll hold these up just slightly to give them a little shape as I go. And then I will cut more petals as I need to create the entire layer around the base of the paper circle. I cut out a couple more leaves for the base layer, so I've got 6 of the petals total on the base layer, and now I'm going to cut another section using the top cutoff parts that I used for the base layer, making petals a little bit smaller than the first layer, and I will layer them around on top of the first layer in between the existing ones, so it'll cover up this little spot here, and then I'll do the next one in between. So each of the next layer will be in between the petals of the first layer, and then you will continue building layers, continuing to get smaller and smaller as you go in towards the center of the flower until you like the look of it. I've now finished with my second layer of petals, and I added a couple more petals on the back row as well to fill in a couple of the spaces that were a little more open than I wanted them to be. So I added this petal here and this petal here, and just stuck a little glue on the end and stuck them in after I had completed the second row. So I will continue with yet another row of slightly smaller petals and do the same thing, just going around continuing with another row. As you can see, I've added several more layers and continued to make the petals smaller as I went in. And there is our completed flower. Here are a couple of the finished flowers alongside some of the wooden pumpkins that I've made for my fall decorations. I hope you enjoyed this activity. Until next time.